I think that mental health and suicide prevention is important to keep, us breathing and us living in this world. It's important to live your life and to be creative and to be here. I feel like there are just certain times in my life where I've just had to rely on music. Like I remember when I was younger, I would go on walks a lot and I would listen to music. But now I drive around the valley and I listen to music. I was raised that way. I was raised hearing songs. I was raised just with that all around myself. And it's a huge part of my culture. It's a huge part of being Coast Salish. Songs are a part of our daily life, like you're eating food, like you're nourishing your body like that. They're very much a part of who we are. And so a lot of the songs are healing. There are some songs that are in particular specific to certain healing, but in general, it's just all healing because we're coming together, we're being in community with one another. Community is really important to me, and I think that I realized that after I moved away from my community and moved to a bigger city and went to college. And that was at the time when I started going to therapy. It's something that has helped me tremendously in my life. I've been going to therapy for a little over 10 years or so. I didn't know that you could go to therapy when I was in college, when I first started going to therapy, and I was like, oh, that's not for me. I felt like there was very much this stigma around it. But the more that I talk about it, the more I find that I have a ton of friends and community that is talking more about their mental health. My tribe has really grown a lot within our sovereignty and our self-determination. And so there are a lot of social services that we offer now that we didn't offer when I was a little girl. Indigenous communities are so complex, and it's not one is the same, and everybody has their own way of their own community. And so I have a hard time speaking generally. But within my particular experience, I have a reservation because there was settlers that came over and they colonized this area. And, our people have gone through genocide and have gone through boarding school systems and have intergenerational trauma. And so that's something that I've, learned just growing up. And it's something that my people have talked about a lot. And so I feel like there's always this sense of healing. Healing is something that I think is very important to my particular community. Creating music has been a form of therapy for me and has been a form of me getting out emotions and kind of making something out of it that says here's what I went through, and here's this, this something that was born out of this, and you can see it, it's tangible. But lately it's hard for me to play music, and I think it's because of the time we're in, and I'm just trying to survive the pandemic. So it's harder for me to actually be in a place to pick up the guitar as much as I have in the past. But you'd think that I would, because it's helpful. Actually I should do that more. I've been going outside a lot lately. I've been hiking a lot, and I've been trying to have more of a physical but also mental connection with the land that my ancestors have, been stewarding since time immemorial. When I'm walking down a path, I think about the generations that were far, behind me, and what they were doing and what they were thinking, and were they singing, were they singing a song? Sometimes I go out and I'll sing a song, were they doing the same thing? That to me seems hopeful, that having that connection is hopeful. And because there's so much going on with TikTok, social media, all of this stuff, and and it's, you forget sometimes that you can just go out into the land and you can be in the water and you can, be near the cedar trees and still have that connection to your ancestors. Just being here and living and walking around is beautiful. This song in particular by Grouper, at that time in my life, it just really pulled me in, and I was like, this is the song I want to listen to. I'd listen to it on repeat. Like it was on repeat, like over and over and over and over and over. It was around the same time that I started going to therapy and I started going to counseling. Sometimes you can hear like a line of a song and it just validates what you're feeling. It just validates how you're doing at that time. And this song in particular has one of those lines, which was water rising up over my head, and it's like a feeling of like just being overwhelmed and like drowning and having like a hard time. And I remember, listening to the song and hearing that, and I was like, wow, like this is how I'm feeling, and here it is, like in this beautiful form. I love this song.